So what made you sought after this fight with Canelo?
Canelo's a great fighter. You know, he's respected. I'm a fan of Canelo. And like I said before, Canelo is the last of the great fighters that's available to fight. Canelo's at 168. It's a big task, but I'm always up for it. Big risk, big reward. And I want to be the first ever boxer to be a three-weight undisputed world champion.
Talk to me about like the business of this fight, because it's live on Netflix. This is your first time fighting on Netflix?
Right.
How does this fight come together as opposed to like typical fights that you've had in the past?
Well, it's all the same. You know, at the end of the day, you got the promotion, you got the network coming out, and they shooting you, and they promoting the fight. It's just, you know, on a different network.
This is the best fight in boxing, bar none. You know, we've got two of the best fighters in the world, and Terence Crawford trying to do what no other's done before, a four division world champion, and, you know, jumping up from light middleweight now to super middle, trying to achieve the unachievable against Canelo Alvarez, who is pound for pound. Can he do it? I think he can. I think that this guy creates history. Terence Crawford is...
Spencer Oliver issued a stark warning to Canelo Alvarez. He's facing the toughest challenge of his career. Terence Crawford, in Oliver's eyes, is chasing history, stepping into dangerous territory where legends are either made or broken. Even promoter Eddie Hearn, once firmly in Canelo's corner, has begun to lean toward Crawford. Hearn admitted, if Terence Crawford decides to box elusively in this fight, I think he's going to really have success. Coming from a veteran promoter, that's not hype, it's a warning. Crawford has the ability to turn this fight into a nightmare, making Canelo chase shadows all night. The fact that Hearn's stance has shifted from pro-Canelo to cautious respect speaks volumes. He framed the bout not as just another big fight, but as a collision of two legends near the twilight of their careers, yet underscored one crucial factor: the weight.
Great fight. I mean, it's two guys that are coming towards the back end of their careers, but two legends, pound for pound legends of the sport. A fascinating fight between two guys with tremendous ring IQ. I guess the big conversation is how the weight will affect Bud and how he will respond to the size. You know, we got a situation where in Los Angeles, Crawford didn't look that big against the 154. In fact, I thought Madrimov looked the bigger, the stronger guy in that fight. I thought it was a very, very close fight, that fight. Now you're going up two divisions at 168 for Canelo Alvarez, who is, you know, a pound for pound legend of the sport. Against Skull, he didn't look great. You know, the movement didn't look great. I didn't think his legs looked fantastic.
Hearn reminded fans that Crawford didn't even look imposing at 154 pounds, and now he's leaping straight to 168 against one of boxing's strongest champions. That physical jump is the ultimate test of limits. Still, Hearn stressed that Crawford's greatness often defies logic. The fight will answer one of boxing's oldest questions: can pure skill conquer raw size? But the true million-dollar question, Hearn said, is how Crawford responds once the punches start flying at super middleweight.
Really, the million-dollar question. How can he hang at 168? When you spend time with both of them, they're both so confident, you actually can't see him losing. Bud talked a brilliant game, and he's walked the walk continuously, and he has probably the best boxing IQ in the game. I probably, and you know, Canelo's my guy, but I probably lean slightly.
From Hearn's perspective, both men radiate supreme confidence, making it hard to imagine either accepting defeat. Yet, when pressed, he leaned ever so slightly toward Crawford. He praised Bud's unrivaled IQ, adaptability, and ability to shift gears mid-fight. Even as someone who has long admired Canelo, Hearn admitted the scales tipped just enough toward Crawford to make him a real threat. It was a rare admission, one that reflects the immense respect Crawford has earned. While Canelo will rightfully enter as the favorite, Hearn hinted that the story may not end that way.
Canelo will be a favorite going in, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Crawford.
In fact, Hearn went a step further, saying an upset wouldn't shock him at all. Crawford has built a career proving doubters wrong, and for Hearn, this fight isn't about favorites, it's about whether Bud can once again turn belief into reality. He even pointed to the fight that still haunts Canelo, his loss to Dimitri Bivol. To Hearn, that was the blueprint Crawford could follow.
Really interested, I think Bivol really did set the blueprint of how to beat Canelo Alvarez. You know, what you do is you're slick, but you throw punches in bunches, you move into range, bomb, 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 out of range. You do it again, because Canelo's not that active. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. And he hates movement, hates it. Crawford's got, that's, you go, Crawford, to be honest, Crawford's got to probably make it a little bit of a stick.
According to Hearn, Bivol beat Canelo with slick movement, constant rhythm, and high-volume punching, exactly the style Crawford has mastered. If Bud makes Canelo chase, he controls the tempo in the fight. Hearn's warning was sharp: unless Canelo has evolved since that defeat, Crawford could walk him into the same trap. He also highlighted the importance of the opening rounds, noting that Crawford is built to seize control early, and that might set the tone for the entire night.
You just got to go in there and just win rounds. And I think Crawford will win rounds in those fights.
Oh, definitely.
Especially the early rounds. So Canelo may have to do something and try and, because he's not that active. I don't think he really wants to work.
Hearn believes Crawford's sharpness and quick tempo will earn him the first few rounds before Canelo can settle. And when a fighter like Canelo is forced to play catch-up, the pressure builds quickly. If Crawford establishes a lead, Alvarez could find himself fighting against both time and momentum. Hearn stressed that the opening rounds might write the story of the whole fight. American boxer Sergio Mora added his own take, pointing out that Crawford's physical transformation has become just as important to the narrative as his skill set.
Smaller fighter, but the more this fight goes, it's more 50-50, and more people are starting to respect this man because he's been posting social media. He looks bigger. He looks like a muscular fighter, not like an out-of-shape lightweight or welterweight coming up in weight. He looks like a legitimate, muscular, middleweight type fighter. I love the fact that he's actually marketing himself, getting great sparring, the running, the videos, and just he looks like a beast, man. So I love everything he's doing to promote this fight and to show everyone I'm not the smaller man here. It's going to be an equal-sized fight when it comes to physical.
Mora emphasized how Crawford has silenced critics by looking every bit the part of a natural middleweight. Training clips, sparring footage, and his physical presence tell the story. Crawford doesn't look like the smaller man anymore. This shift has fueled the belief that the fight is now on even terms. For Mora, Crawford's body and mindset are already battle-ready, making this showdown even harder to predict. He doubled down on his analysis, stressing that Crawford's new build isn't just cosmetic. It's functional muscle, designed for strength, power, and endurance at the higher weight.
But he's an athletic fighter. I mean, he has a wrestling background. I think he put on the right muscle. He's not soft in the midsection. You could tell that he still carries that muscle right. It's like whenever you do go up in weight and you see the muscle around the shoulders and the biceps and the back, that's when you're like, wow, okay, this is impressive. You see him deadlifting. He's a strong fighter, and he did it the right way. Just like Roy Jones Jr. when he went to heavyweight. He didn't look heavy. He looked just as muscular, only he did it, the muscle were in the right proportion places. I think Bud looks the exact same way.
Sergio Mora emphasized how natural Crawford's new physique looks: balanced, functional, and clearly built for fighting. From his shoulders to his back, every detail shows real power, not bulk for show. Mora even compared the transformation to Roy Jones Jr.'s legendary move up in weight, calling it a flawless shift. That comparison alone puts Bud in rare company. Chris Mannix added that Crawford's rise hasn't been rushed or reckless. Every stage of training has been part of a bigger plan, all aimed at one man, Canelo Alvarez.
Physically spectacular. He clearly has put on the weight in the right way. And this is not the case of a guy having a couple of months to get up to 168 pounds. He has basically been preparing for this moment for the better part of a year. Like, he knew that it was Canelo Alvarez or bust. So he's going to come in, I think, looking strong.
Mannix stressed that Crawford's body looks ready because this wasn't a last-minute jump. It was a year-long process. Every run, every lift, every camp was built to handle the size and power at 168. That level of discipline shows Bud isn't stepping up to test himself, he's stepping up to win. And when preparation meets ambition, history is often written. Spencer Oliver reminded fans that Crawford's greatness at welterweight already put him among the best ever.
I've always said it, I think that he lives with any welterweight. His best weight really has been at welterweight. He lives with any welterweight in any division for me, and that's including all the greats. You know, you're going back to your Roberto Durans, Sugar Ray Leonards, all those guys. I think that he is that good. And we find out in September. It's going to be fantastic.
Oliver placed Crawford's name alongside all-time legends like Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard, saying his skill set would stand in any era. That's rare praise, and it proves how much respect Bud commands. This isn't just another fight in September, it's a proving ground for Crawford's place in history. Oliver predicted that the matchup will be nothing short of a war. Both men, he said, are simply too good, too tough, and too proud to fold.
In the belief that Crawford will beat Alvarez, and I'd like to see him beat Alvarez, quite frankly.
I mean, a joint 70 knockouts in their careers.
They're incredible.
Is this going to go the distance?
Insanely, I think it will. I think because they're both technically that good and they're both very durable. That's how they become the superstars of the sport of today. You know, they both can take a shot, they both mix it up, they'll both sit in the pocket. You're going to have excitement for sure because they will both go for it. They're both spiteful, very heavy-handed, but I think they both hear the final.
Oliver highlighted their toughness, power, and willingness to trade, the perfect recipe for fireworks from the opening bell. In his view, the drama isn't in question, the real test is how long either man can endure it. His prediction? The fight isn't ending early. It's built to go the distance. By the final bell, fans will have witnessed a modern classic. He broke down the chess match at the heart of it, Crawford's intelligence versus Canelo's natural size and strength.
I think that Crawford's extra boxing IQ and the fact that he's moved up them weight divisions, who Canelo moved up from welterweight as well, he's gone through the weights as well. So when you look at them sizing up now, Crawford actually looks bigger than him right now, but Canelo's developed as a super middleweight. He's accustomed to being super middleweight now, whereas Crawford isn't. But I think that extra movement will be enough for Crawford, and I think he will be able to sit in the pocket when he has to against Alvarez, but be sure this one will be a barnstorm.
Oliver admitted Canelo holds the edge as the seasoned super middleweight, but he pointed to Crawford's movement, adaptability, and ability to fight inside as factors that could tilt the fight in Bud's favor. He described it as brains and precision against brute force, the kind of battle that defines careers. The winner, he said, could either cement Crawford's genius or reaffirm Canelo's dominance. Simon Jordan then weighed in with a bold counterpoint, arguing that the size difference might not be the deciding factor at all.
The thing is that the difficulty that most people would put to Terence Crawford is the size element of things. But I think if he's going to fight Sal Alvarez, it's the right time to fight him now, because we're seeing elements of decline in Alvarez. Okay, the dance partners has been forced to fight against William Skell, didn't come to fight, did they? No. But Crawford, it'll be interesting to see how their styles gel and how the fight proceeds. But having watched Crawford like you have done, from the moment he landed on these shores to deal with Ricky Burns all those years ago, to the manner in which he dismantled Errol Spence, stepping up the weight classes, I'm in Spencer's camp. We're both in the same position, aligned, foolishly together perhaps, in the belief that Crawford will beat.
Jordan claimed this is the perfect moment for Bud. He pointed out that signs of decline have begun to show in Canelo, making this window Crawford's best shot. He retraced Crawford's journey from his breakthrough win against Ricky Burns to his brutal dismantling of Errol Spence, a climb through divisions that forged a fighter ready for the impossible. Aligning with Spencer Oliver, Jordan declared with conviction that Crawford can beat Canelo. To drive the point home, he reminded fans of Canelo's loss to Dimitri Bivol, proof that even great champions can be cracked.
Canelo Alvarez take that journey up to light heavy and find himself coming up against Dimitri Bivol and not being able to do what he does at super middleweight. I just think that Crawford is such a fighter of such stature and competence that he might just be the kryptonite to Saul Alvarez.
For Jordan, that memory looms large. He sees Crawford's brilliance, composure, and precision as the exact tools to expose Canelo again. To him, Bud is the kryptonite capable of stripping away Alvarez's aura of invincibility. This fight, Jordan argued, isn't just about belts, it's about legacy. And if Crawford wins, boxing could witness a seismic shock. Tony Bellew didn't mince words either. For him, there's only one winner, Crawford, and by a clear margin. His conviction wasn't casual, it was a firm declaration built on respect for Crawford's timing, IQ, and adaptability. Bellew pushed back against critics who dismissed Crawford's resume, reminding everyone of one defining victory that proved his greatness beyond doubt.
I was watching them in a press conference and I seen Canelo saying, name me one elite fighter you've beaten. He kept saying, just one elite fighter. As everyone forgot about the Errol Spence win. Because for me, the Errol Spence win was an elite win.
Yeah.
Errol Spence was reigning and dominant in the welterweight division, was beating everybody. And he went in there and beat Errol Spence up. So there's the first elite win that he's got. And if you look at these two fighters, there isn't that much size difference. Okay, the weight will be a bit different, but these fighters have been going through weight divisions quite similar.
Yeah.
You know,
down,
Canelo started at 10 stone, goes to from light welterweight to welterweight to light middleweight. We've all seen the rise of Canelo. People are making out like Canelo is a fully fledged light heavyweight or a fully fledged super middleweight.
He's been up and down.
This guy has been through the division.
For Tony Bellew, Crawford's demolition of Errol Spence silenced every critic who ever questioned him. That was an elite win over a dominant champion at his absolute peak. Bellew stressed that both Crawford and Canelo have taken similar journeys through the divisions, proving themselves at every stage. His message was clear: don't be fooled by size. This is a battle between two men who've walked the same road, and in that balance, Bellew sees Crawford standing tall. He also pushed back on the constant talk about size, questioning why fans treat Canelo like a giant in the division.
Okay, at the moment he's the undisputed unified super middleweight champion. Is he the biggest super middleweight out there? Absolutely not, no. Is he even the biggest middleweight out there? No. So why is it when Terence Crawford goes in with him, and Terence Crawford's fought now at light middleweight, Madrimov, I think he'd be for one of the titles. So he's got to win over a big light middleweight, and he's got to win over an elite welterweight, a division that Canelo was at not so long ago. I just think people are writing him off because of this size factor. Canelo is the stronger man, there's no denying.
Bellew made it plain: yes, Canelo is the undisputed super middleweight king, but he's not the biggest man at 168. People, he argued, are exaggerating the gap. Strength and power don't automatically mean victory. Crawford has beaten naturally bigger opponents before, and writing him off for size alone is a mistake boxing fans have made before and paid for. If size was all that mattered, Bellew said, boxing would be a boring sport. Instead, it's about styles, adaptability, and timing, and that's where Crawford shines.
If the biggest and the strongest man always won boxing matches, it'd be boring, wouldn't it?
It would be, exactly.
And we'd stop watching.
Don't forget that Canelo struggled against southpaws as well in the past, and
but not consistently always a southpaw. He switches back and forth. He's got so many different facets to his style. He's an unbelievably talented fighter. I just think he'll be too much, and I also do think Canelo's not what he wants.
He reminded fans that Canelo has always struggled with slick southpaws, and Crawford, with his switch hitting style, is the ultimate nightmare matchup. For Bellew, this fight isn't just about raw power, it's about options. And Crawford, sharper than ever, has them all. He believes Canelo isn't quite the same fighter he once was, while Crawford is peaking at the right time. That contrast, he argued, tilts the fight toward the challenger. Bellew predicted the later rounds will be the key, where mental toughness and strategy take over.
It will possibly go to the judges' scorecards, but Canelo will be going for the stoppage. Once this gets past 8 rounds, Canelo's going to fear the cards.
Those
because
championship rounds will be exciting.
Looking from the outside, looking in, you know, Canelo seems like he's got a bit of a bee in his bonnet that Turkey al-Sheikh is favouring Crawford. You know, he's going on, oh, your daddy's this, and he's looking at that, and when you look into that, you're thinking in the back of his mind, he'd be like, I don't want to go to points here, I don't need to.
What a point to prove now. He wants, maybe we're going for that late stoppage. We'll see.
According to Bellew, Crawford could very well push the fight to the judges, but he suspects Canelo won't want to risk it. He sees Alvarez chasing a late stoppage to avoid leaving the result in the hands of the scorecards. That desperation, Bellew warned, could make the championship rounds explosive, both men pushing beyond limits to prove a point. He even noted Canelo's press conference remarks, hinting at the pressure building on the Mexican star. That stress, Bellew suggested, could force risky decisions, giving Crawford the perfect chance to strike.
For real, you're right, this is a 50-50 fight. This is a fight where, as I was telling the Uber driver this morning, these guys, we've seen them both make mistakes in the ring. But they've never cost them. right? This is the first fight that I believe they both are going to get in the ring where the small mistake is actually a big mistake against the opposer. So Canelo making a small mistake is actually a big mistake because Crawford actually has the ability to somehow know that that mistake is about to happen, and boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Canelo, on the other hand, Crawford hasn't been known to get hit, especially early in fights. And Canelo is the kind of guy where he's going to come out and let his hands go. He's going to find moments to let his hands go. But when he finds those moments, you can't be caught slipping. You can't be caught sleeping. You can't be caught in between. Do I go in? Do I go out? Make that small mistake against this guy right here. It becomes a monumental mistake, and that might be the last time you make a move that night. You know what I mean?
Sean Porter broke it down his own way, calling the fight razor thin. He highlighted that both Canelo and Crawford have made mistakes before, but never against someone capable of fully capitalizing. This time, every slip could be fatal. Crawford's instincts allow him to punish the smallest opening, while Canelo's power means even one lapse from Bud could end the night. Porter framed it as a high-stakes chess match, where timing, patience, and precision decide everything. At the end of the day, this isn't just about belts. It's about legacy. Crawford is daring to chase history in dangerous waters, while Canelo is fighting to prove he is still king at 168. It's skill versus power, youth versus experience, precision versus strength, and only one man leaves with his story intact. Crawford has the tools to shock the world, but the danger of Canelo's power will hang over every round. One mistake, and it could all end in a flash. Still, it feels like we may be about to witness something historic, a night fans will remember for decades. So the question remains, can Crawford's brilliance carry him through a heavier division to topple Canelo? Or will Alvarez's size and power finally be the wall Bud cannot climb? Will it go the distance or end in one devastating moment? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Knockout Voyage for more amazing boxing content. Stay tuned for the next big fight.